Hey folks, welcome back to the garage. This is the Wells MBO3. I've just chronoed it. There's the chrono. 371.7 with a 0.2 BB. It seems to be creeping up, but I'm going to take it apart and we'll just go through a few of the modifications that I've done. I'll get back to you in a second. The bolt seems to be dragging a little, so I'm going to take it apart and have a look. Stripped it down a little bit more just to show you what problems I'm having. When it's pulled back it's fine, but pushing it forward it feels like it's dragging on something. With the new piston mods that I've done, the gun itself, it's unbelievably quiet, but yet it's still going up there 370s and it's still creeping up. I'm going to try and address those things now, and I'll get back to you when I've stripped it down a little bit more. I've stripped it down even further, and the drag on the bolt seems to be coming from this area here, around inside here. I'll just show you. It's really difficult to push back in. Once it's in, it's in, and even with nothing on, this is as quiet as the bolt action gets. It's unbelievably quiet. I'll show you those mods in a little while. I'll strip it down even further and I'll get back to you. Well, this is what it looks like now. You probably see the lines on the back all the way through. And on the back of the bolt itself. Hey folks, back again. I've stripped it down even more, and on the back of the bolt you see the score lines running across. So I'm going to address this and give it a good clean out. If you remember when I first bought the gun on part 1 of the video, I bought it with this which was damaged. I'll enclose a picture for focus. And it's got a damaged nozzle, and I swapped it out and bought this one, which was pretty decent. But I've only just noticed now, is there's no washer underneath here, but there is one on this one. So what I'm going to do is when I put it back together again, I'm going to take this washer off and put it on the other nozzle. I'm going to give it a clean up with a bit of wet and dry and just try and clean it up a little bit in there. Also, I'm going to give this a quick rub down as well, and hopefully that should address the issue of the drag on the bolt. I'm going to put it back together again. I'll just see you in a little while. Now folks, I've addressed the issue with the bolt receiver, and all I've done is I've cleaned out when they've drilled the holes in, there's burrs inside up the top. Every time there's a hole, there was like rough on top, so I've used 120 grit sandpaper and I've just addressed those issues and give it a polish out with a Dremel tool. It seems to have sorted it out. Give this a bit of a polish as well. The piston, reason why it's so quiet, this was a under £20 piston, spring and a spring guide with bearings at the bottom, and all I've done is I put an extra pad on top, and this air brake, which works in conjunction with piston head. As the piston head goes in, it limits the air going out, which in turn slows the piston down. The modification itself is free. You can pay up to $70 or £70 for a cut out orange one that looks absolutely brilliant, but you could spend that money, but I unfortunately don't have that money to spend. So all I've done is the air brake I've made from a biro, a pen. I just cut the top off the ink cartridge, warmed it up with a lighter, and this piston itself comes with a little screw in the bottom. I've just undone the screw, warmed up the plastic, put it into the hole and turned it, and it is perfect. It's solid. It was like it was meant to be there. With the extra pad, I don't know if you can see, it's slightly larger on top, because when it hits the sides, maybe you can see if I bend it down, the ends give a little first, which I believe makes the gun itself quieter. Also, what I've done in the spring guide, I put a little rubber pad on the bottom, so it's not metal against metal. It's actually a rubber pad actually on the bottom of it. I've addressed all the issues that I had on it, and the only was the drag on the bolt when you tried to push it back in, and I've seemed to have sorted that out now, so there's no problems with that. The barrel spacers I used out of electrical tape work brilliantly, absolutely brilliantly. I'm not even going to take them out, they're staying on. The hop up itself, I've done nothing to it apart from the hopper palm. I've just clipped the top of a biro, same stuff as this, clipped the top of the biro and used it as a nub to push against the booking. Again, free modifications. We don't have money to throw away, so if I can make it for free, I'll share it with you guys. And that's about it. So all I'm going to do now is I'm going to put it back together again. I'm going to grease it up and use some silicone, and what I'll do is we'll fire a couple of shots through it, and we'll chrono it, and we'll come to results at the end. So I'll be back with you in a second. There you go, 424.6, that's 0.2 gram. Brilliant. For a gun that cost under £40. Yep. Rag and bone, man. Don't you just love them?